Hey guys, it's Void here. Gonna do a tips and tricks video series, and this video is gonna be the first one in that series. And this is how to make an inexpensive and very simple Z-bar. If you're like me, you like to keep your stage nice and clean, and I don't like to have a whole lot of mic stands lying around if I don't need them. So I'm a big fan of Z-bars, claws, that kind of thing, anything that can basically get rid of a mic stand. I was on tour with Ryan Starr. We were opening for David Cook a while ago, and I didn't have any Z-bars. I didn't have access to any Z-bars, and we weren't carrying a mic package at the time. So I was getting a little frustrated with having to just always, deal with mic stands and bad clutches and, that kind of thing. So to avoid that, when we had a day off, I went to a Home Depot, and I saw on the shelf one of these. And this is, if you can see clearly, this is just a metal bar. I'm assuming it's made out of aluminum. And I found it in the lumber aisle, and this is apparently for deck strapping. I was told it's called a deck strap, and it says on it Simpson Strong Tie RPS 22 16G. 16G probably means 16 grams. If you go to a Home Depot or maybe a Lowe's, you could probably find this. It was about $3. Okay, so I was like, you know what? I can probably do something with that. So with that, I ended up making something that ended up looking like this. Okay, as you can see, it's the exact same thing. Here's the holes lining up. So it's the exact same thing. I modified it a little bit. As you can see, I bent it. Okay, and then I did also shorten it a little bit. I used I used tin snips and cut around this corner here, this edge, and then rounded it off on a grinder. And we were in the field again, and we were on tour, so I ended up doing this in the shop of one of the places we played. They had a stage shop and all that stuff. They were cutting wood and all that stuff. And I said, you guys got a grinder? And they're like, sure. And so we ground it off. And there you go. And the only other thing I did was then I went to Amazon.com and found that they have knurled bolts. K-N-U-R-L-E-D, knurled. And I'm assuming that means that you can grip it like this. So, and this is a 3/8 bolt. I forget what thread it is, but it's the same thread that goes on any mic stand of the European variety. And then you take your handy dandy little adapter, mic stand adapter, and a washer, and you put it in there like that. And I have a washer on the other side as well. And you screw that on there. And now you can put any mic on there you want. And obviously I covered it in black gaff tape, and then I also put in here one of those L brackets, just another cheap find at Home Depot or Lowe's, just an L bracket, and taped it in there. It's good and solid. And that's just for rigidity, so it doesn't flex like this. Because when you put it on an amp, it kind of had a tendency to flex a little bit. So the next time we're at a Home Depot, I grabbed some of those and put them in there. So now, again, this is really, really simple. You just put your mic, spin it on there. All right, and so now I have a Sennheiser E609 on the Z-bar, the homemade Z-bar. I guess now you'd actually have to call it an L-bar. And it goes on a mic, on a cabinet, real easy. Just slip it in there, usually between the head and the cabinet, and boom.
Couldn't be more straightforward, couldn't be easier, couldn't be cheaper. Obviously you can move it around, you can turn the mic this way, you can turn the mic down, tighten it that way, it can be straight down, like that. If you have an SM57 or something that's longer, I'll show you how you can put that on there as well. It's no problem at all.
Alright, so here it is with a Heil PR22 on it. So you can see that it's no problem to have a mic that's longer, like a 57 or a 421 on a bass cabinet. You can, it's very versatile. You can use pretty much anything you want on there. And I haven't had any problems. I use a Audio-Technica ATM 250DE with it as well. That's a cool mic. We'll get into that later with microphones and stuff like that. But there you go. Cheap, inexpensive, and easy to make. Takes 5 minutes. Take a little longer without the grinder and all that stuff, but no problem doing it. And one other thing that is handy is that when you use those microphone adapters, I find, as you probably do, that a lot of times they get stuck in the mic like that. Now, right now that's not really a problem because it's not in there too far and too tight, but they do get stuck in there, and it's kind of a pain in the neck to get them out without a special tool or, pair of pliers or something. So that's another handy-dandy use for the washer that you've got on the side there. You take a washer and you use it. You can just go in there and open that right up. Just, spin it in there. You get that guy. Two uses for the same item.